Welcome back. I'm Clump of Cells. Today we're looking at a complicated one, the 12th Amendment. This amendment is seldom invoked in courts but is crucial to the function of our government. So what is it? Prepare for a long and convoluted declaration of government function. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for president and vice president, one of whom at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. They shall name in their ballots the person voted for as president, and in distinct ballots the person voted for as vice president. And they shall make distinct lists of all persons voted for as president, and of all persons voted for as vice president, and of the number of votes for each, which lists they shall sign and certify and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all the certificates, and the votes shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes for president shall be the president, if such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed. And if no person have such majority, then from the persons having the highest numbers, not exceeding 3 on the list of those voted for as president, the House of Representatives shall choose immediately, by ballot, the president. But in choosing the president, the votes shall be taken by states, the representation from each state having 1 vote. A quorum for this purpose shall consist of a member or members from 2/3 of the states, and a majority of all the states shall be necessary to a choice. And if the House of Representatives shall not choose a president whenever the right of choice shall devolve upon them, before the 4th day of March next following, then the vice president shall act as president, as in case of the death or other constitutional disability of the president. The person having the greatest number of votes as vice president shall be the vice president, if such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed, and if no person have a majority, then from the 2 highest numbers on the list, the Senate shall choose the vice president. A quorum for the purpose shall consist of 2/3 of the whole number of senators, and a majority of the whole number shall be necessary to a choice. But no person constitutionally ineligible to the office of president shall be eligible to that of vice president of the United States. So, what the hell does that mean? And how the hell does it influence our modern government? Let's see. Imagine the White House, a cauldron of conflicting ideologies with the nation's highest offices occupied by bitter adversaries. It sounds like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? Well, that was the reality during the infancy of the United States, specifically during the elections of 1796 and 1800. Back then, the runner-up in the presidential election became the vice president, leading to a peculiar situation where the president and his deputy could belong to opposing political parties. The elections of 1796 and 1800 brought this issue to the forefront. In 1796, John Adams, a Federalist, was elected president, while his vice president, Thomas Jefferson, was a Democratic Republican. Fast forward to the election of 1800, and we saw a tie between Jefferson and his running mate, Aaron Burr, leading to a constitutional crisis. It was these early political struggles that led to the creation of the 12th Amendment. The elections of 1796 and 1800 were unlike any other, setting the stage for a pivotal change in the U.S. Constitution. Let's journey back to the dawn of the American Republic. The year is 1796. As George Washington steps down, the presidency is up for grabs. 2 key figures emerge in this political maelstrom: John Adams from the Federalist Party and Thomas Jefferson from the Democratic Republican Party. The electoral process was quite different then. Each elector could vote for 2 candidates, with the runner-up becoming vice president. Adams secured the presidency, but Jefferson, his ideological opposite, became vice president. This situation created an unusual and problematic power dynamic in the executive branch, with the president and vice president often at odds, and often stemming actions taken by the executive branch. In the early stages of our nation, the electoral process was far from perfect. The need for a more streamlined and less contentious process was evident. This necessity paved the way for the creation of the 12th Amendment. In December 1803, the 12th Amendment was proposed by the Congress. It was an answer to the political turmoil and a solution to the issues that had arisen during the preceding elections. The amendment was a testament to the flexibility of the Constitution and the foresight of the Founding Fathers, who had designed it to allow for such modifications. The 12th Amendment, in its entirety, reads again, "The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for president and vice president, one of whom at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. They shall name in their ballots the person voted for as president, and in distinct ballots the person voted for as vice president, and they shall make distinct lists of all persons voted for as president, and of all persons voted for as vice president, and of the number of votes for each, which lists they shall sign and certify, and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. This amendment effectively altered the way in which our nation's leaders were chosen. No longer would electors cast 2 votes with the runner-up becoming vice president. Instead, electors would now cast separate votes for the president and vice president, eliminating the possibility of a president and vice president from opposing parties. The 12th Amendment was ratified by the requisite 3/4 of the states on June 15, 1804, just in time for the presidential election that year. It brought clarity to the electoral process and laid the groundwork for the procedure we still follow today. With the ratification of the 12th Amendment, the electoral process as we know it was forever changed. So, how did the 12th Amendment shape the present? Well, that's going to be up for debate for quite some time. The 12th Amendment had a profound impact on the electoral process in the United States. It established the procedure we know today: separate votes for president and vice president in the Electoral College. This seemingly simple change was actually revolutionary. It led to more streamlined and less contentious elections, minimizing the possibility of a president and vice president from opposing political parties. Before the 12th Amendment, the runner-up in the presidential race would become vice president. This could, as it did twice within 3 elections, result in a president and vice president who were political rivals. Imagine the tension in the White House. Now the president and vice president are from the same party, working towards the same or at least similar goals. The amendment ensured a cohesive executive branch, promoting harmony and unity in leadership. The 12th Amendment also played a significant role in shaping party politics. It encouraged the development of a 2-party system by necessitating that parties put forth a single ticket for the presidency and vice presidency. This, in turn, led to increased political stability. Moreover, the amendment has been a safeguard against tied electoral votes, like the one experienced in the election of 1800. It's hard to fathom now, but a tied electoral vote was a genuine concern in the early days of the Republic and is still a probable concern today. This amendment provides a clear procedure for such a situation, giving the House of Representatives the responsibility of breaking the tie. Finally, it's worth noting that the 12th Amendment has had a hand in shaping the very nature of the presidency itself. It has fostered a culture of teamwork and collaboration between the president and vice president, enhancing the effectiveness of the executive branch. So there you have it. The 12th Amendment, born out of political rivalry and tension, has played a crucial role in shaping the US political landscape as we know it today. If you liked this video and want more content about American history and the Constitution of the United States, make sure you hit the like button, comment below, share to everyone you know, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I'm Clump of Cells. And as always, stay informed and know your rights.